We live, baby. With that being said, hey, what's going on? And welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. If you're loving the show, do us a quick favor, hit that follow button, give us a like, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Whether you're tuning in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, your support helps us keep bringing the heat each and every week. Also, follow us all on social media. Just click the link in the chat or the description box to keep up with the Sports Bros podcast. I go by the name of Eddie Cool, aka the HOC up in this thing. And I'm feeling pretty good, man. I can't complain. I forgot to say last week to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. I didn't forget. Our brother just been super duper busy. So I hope all of our fans that are fathers and even the ones that are not our fans, I hope they enjoy their fathers as well too. With that being said, enough of my incoherent rambling. You know I have two of the best coaches in the world. Introducing first from Fayetteville, North Carolina, manning the ship. He's really Amtrakking the show because he's at the control center. He is the one, the only, the almighty Be Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? You do realize most likely the next time we record, we're going to have a new NBA champion and a new Stanley Cup champion. We might have a new Stanley Cup champion tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
But yeah, the next time, huh?
Won't be new.
Well, true, but there'll be. Well, I mean, if it ends tonight, then it won't be new. But if it goes to 7, it could be new. But we shall see. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But I just want to put on APB. You know what? Introduce the other guy because he is available. He is here. But there's somebody. I was looking for him to show up, but yeah, we'll talk about it. Go ahead and introduce the other guy. I'm just excited, just ready to jump into these topics that we have. Yes, sir.
All good. And here's the other guy, the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania. He's a working man. Don't matter what time of the year it is. He's always working, always grinding, always getting it. Be it at a press box at the Trinity High School or at a gym, lifting weights and making sure you feel great. He is the one, the only, the money man, Scotty Day.
Whatever you do, don't put the blame on you. Blame it on the rain. Yeah. It's raining again in Western Pennsylvania.
Everywhere.
We've been getting rain. We had flash flooding in the area over the weekend. We had people losing homes and lives, and it's been awful here with the rain. I was expecting a summer drought that we seem to have gotten the last couple of years, but so far it just won't stop raining. It's been awful. I feel so bad for the people that had to deal with all the flooding and everything this past weekend. It's been awful. It was bad on Sunday evening at the U.S. Open and affected that tournament. And be like, what were you rambling on about there a minute ago? You thought somebody else was going to be here?
What? No.
Who's coming?
Well, no, this is I was alluding to the NBA Finals and Game 5, and that's why I wanted to hold off until we get to talking about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's go.
All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into it. The top of the order. Watch this graphic, y'all.
All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order.
Could there be trouble in Indy? Or could the Thunder go ahead and bring the first ever championship home to Oklahoma City? With that being said, fellas, the Thunder are up 3-2. They're taking this game on the road. Is it tomorrow night or Thursday night?
Let's see here. I believe it's Thursday night, but don't get me to lying.
I think it might be.
Yes, it is going to be on Thursday night, the 19th.
And from the looks of it, it looks like the Thunder could clinch it on the road. But hold on, not so fast. They're in visiting territory. They're in hostile territory, if you will, a place where Indy does not lose. um a whole lot often. With that being said, there's only one question: can the Pacers stretch it to Game 7, or are they cooked? Is it over with? Is it done? Are they cashed, cooked, fried? What say you? Be live.
Well, I'm going to allude a little bit to what I was stating before because an APB is out. What the helly? What the Hallie? What the Halliburton? But man, injuries. At best ability is availability.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the telltale sign of, are you hindering the team by wanting to be out there, but you're not 100%? Because that calf injury, he's having an MIR. He's undergoing an MIR to evaluate a calf strain, but that was clearly hindering him in Game 5 to the tune of where he scored 4 points.
Ugh.
No field goals, 4 free throws. He scored no field goals. That's your star player. Now, Indy has always been the team that where they've been a team where nobody's like scoring over 20 some points, et cetera. But the ball clearly goes through Halliburton. He is elevating himself, and their 1-2 punch him, Pascal Siakam. I don't think with him not being healthy, I just don't really, and I hate to say it now, I just hate to see it this way, but I don't see the I don't see Indy being able to survive this, even though the Game 6 is at home. As I predicted before, I figured OKC would just win Game 5 and Game 6. They would right the ship, and now with Halliburton not being 100%, I just don't see it happening. OKC, they'll be there first as the Thunder, the second since 1979 when they were the Seattle Supersonics. I'm going ahead and call it a clinch on Thursday in hostile territory. Scotty D,
what say you?
Yeah, I think so too. It's Indiana had a golden opportunity. They were up 18 points in this game, the previous game, and Oklahoma City really didn't play that well. I didn't watch this game because I went to bed early, but I was, from all the information I've gathered, watching the highlights and reading, that they turned the ball over too much and blew it. And Oklahoma City didn't even really play that well from the looks of it. They had one guy, Russell Westbrook, scored 40 points. It wasn't even Westbrook.
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, that's what I said. Jalen Williams scored 40 points, and Durant he wasn't even their leading scorer.
Stop. Would you cut it out?
Gilgeous-Alexander. Okay. He wasn't even their leading scorer. And as long as Reggie Miller has this calf strain, there's just no
Reggie Miller.
No shot for Indy. I'm sorry.
Well, that's the case. Where's the Davis boys and Rick Smiths and Mark Jackson and Jermaine O'Neal?
I was in the third quarter. I really thought that T.J. McConnell said, "You know what? I'm gonna put this team on my back." He was shooting pretty hard. Pascal Siakam was doing his thing, but it is too much to overcome when one of your big time players is not at 100%. And the thing about this, Tyrese Halliburton he played 34 minutes and was totally ineffective. 4 points. He has 7 rebounds, 6 assists. His plus minus was -13, but he wasn't that bad. But he was ineffective. You gotta have your star players playing at peak. And like Scotty D said, that OKC did not play the best game, but with Jalen Williams dropping 40 on them, and SGA doing what he normally does with 31, the scale was tipped, and OKC held on to the lead, held on to the game.
Oklahoma City has not lost 2 in a row this year, from what someone on one of the radio stations I was listening to earlier said. They're just a better team. They are the better team. Indiana came in hot. Everything was going completely right for them. They were hitting shots. New York was letting them shoot. They were hitting everything. And without your best guy, it's too much of a hill to climb to win twice, one on the road. I think the wind is out of the sails, and I agree that they're probably going to be done. Now, would it surprise me if they put up a good fight or maybe even pulled it off?
No.
I could see it happening because this Indiana team has surprised me throughout the playoffs. But this would really surprise me because I think at this point there's blood in the water, and OKC's too close to it. They smell it. I think they're going to get it on the road, and if not, I don't see how Indiana would win Game 7 on the road. Even if Halliburton would manage to play in that game, he's not effective. He can't drive. You can't push off a calf. I mean, they haven't had the MRI yet. I don't think as of now. But I mean, it obviously has affected him to the point, like you said, he scored 4 points last game. You're not shooting properly when you're not elevating off your foot because your calf is hindering you, and you can't explode to the basket. And that's a big part of his game. So bad timing on that. I hate when the major injuries crop up this time of year, but it's a marathon on a sprint when it comes to the NBA, man.
Yeah, I'll say this: the Pacers, they've been tough to beat at home all regular pro season, and if that crowd is rowdy and rambunctious, that'll be in their favor too. But but for the Pacers, you can't have no room for no cold shooting. You cannot have one single solitary bad quarter of bad shot selections. You have to be smart and you have to hit high percentage and effective shots because one bad quarter, it's done. So it's done. So we would like to see Tyrese Halliburton play in Game 6, but nothing's ever promised. And I mean, just hopefully he gets well because despite what everybody else is saying, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I'm sick of hearing this. It's going to be a boring series, but guess what? You're watching it.
Well, and I'm gonna piggyback off of that because here's the thing. What casuals and I'm gonna call them punk ass fans.
PAFs.
Yeah,
PAFs.
They want to say that the ratings are down and all this and that. I'm over here like, yo, if people, this might be an NBA problem, but I really don't think it is. I just think that the NBA is so diverse, the talent is so spread out that they do need to develop a new face of the NBA. They need to invest in better storylines than LeBron James, Steph Curry, and KD.
Have you never heard the name Bronny before?
I swear to everything.
The face of the NBA has arrived.
Just
Bronny.
Wait, his brother gets here.
Yeah, he's coming. He's gonna play 1 year for Arizona, and then him and Bronny will take the Lakers to their new heights.
Be like you almost cussed.
Bronny, face of the NBA.
Okay.
Best name in the NBA, Bronny.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, B-Live. Go ahead.
Hey,
Give me some Bronny versus the Knicks. There's your ratings, baby.
I can't wait for the day.
Bronny and Spike Lee.
In 3 or 4 years where LeBron James Jr. is no longer in the league. I don't think he reaches veteran status. I don't think the kid's that good.
You see him taking the Lakers to the championship and then saying, that's it for me. I've proved enough. Proved all I needed to prove. Boxed off.
If the NBA makes this mistake of placing all of this hype and all of this extra media attention on Bronny James, the league will fail. Guess what? We already have an example of that right now in their sister company, the WNBA. They are spending so much energy on the wrong people that you don't get to actually see good basketball.
Bronny's dead with it.
Like Bronny James is Angel Reese. And the WNBA is trying their damnedest right now to make Angel Reese this figure in the WNBA, and it's literally the people that really enjoy the sport of basketball, it's making us roll our eyes.
She's Draymond. She's Draymond.
She is bad. It is horrible to watch.
Did you hear her recent she trademarked the term "me bound"?
That get out of my notes.
What did she do?
All right, let me find another pepper point.
I'm just gonna take your first one right now.
Well, my bad. She trademarked filed a trademark for "me bound."
Yes,
which is what be live a rebound by me.
That because half of her rebounds are her own misses, and it's so terrible to watch because she can't hit layups. But here's the thing, I think if she had she did just get a triple double, so she actually is capable of passing the ball. So you might give her Draymond Green. I was more or less giving her Dennis Rodman.
Oh boy!
And the thing about this, that is a good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
But at what point in time was Dennis Rodman ever the face of the NBA?
Never, never, never.
So could you please focus on your Nafisha College, your Asia Wilsons, your Brianna Stewart? Why are they not? I would have the camera.
Why are we talking about the WNBA?
Satu Sabali.
Because you brought up Bronny James, and
he's not in the WNBA.
But that was my comparison. If you want to make Bronny James, as much as you keep mentioning him, and if the NBA makes that mistake and
Eddie Cole, help me here.
I'm not helping you with nothing.
Help me, Eddie Cole.
You made this bed. You gonna sleep in it. You open this.
Nobody's gonna watch us if we keep arguing about the WNBA.
No.
We're gonna lose all three of our viewers.
They're gonna watch us because of me versus you. That's what's gonna happen. The rivalry that is when it comes to sports commentating and whatever we do here. No, we don't commentate nothing.
Brunson and Bronny, Brunson and Bronny rivalry.
We over here talking sports just the way you like it. SportsBros podcast by the fan for the fan. All right, and before Scotty D
bringing up freaking Bronny James,
before Scotty D and B Live kill each other virtually, they won't. I promise they won't. Let's go ahead and move on to the U.S. Open.
Thunder fans don't deserve it anyway. Okay, go ahead.
Oh wow. Let's move on to the U.S. Open, right? Scotty D, who do we pick again in our non-Scotty Scheffler picks? Who do we pick?
I had Bryson, who I happily lost that one with.
Big goof. Okay.
I had Patrick Cantlay, who was terrible, and Justin Thomas, who was terrible. Beli had Xander Schauffele, Victor Hovland, who was very much in contention, and Colin Morikawa. Eddie Cole, you had Rory, John Rum, and Oberg, who seems to be the biggest mystery on tour right now. Like, what has happened to this kid? Amazing.
So it's safe to say that we were 0 for what, 3, 6, 9? We're 0 for 9 because guess who?
Actually 0 for 10 because Scheffler didn't win either.
We're 0 for 10.
No. See, you gonna make the same argument as Scotty D made just because none of our picks actually won. If you look at the collective efforts and how our picks ended up, I won because my picks did better than your picks. Period.
All hail to Be Live for also not picking a winner, but for getting somebody a little bit closer. Congratulations to Be Live, the soothsayer, the all-knowing. Okay,
give me my prompt.
You nailed it, Be Live. You nailed it.
Right,
you did. You nailed it. You got it.
How sarcastic you trying to be right now? You don't give me my accolades. I'm so sick of you.
All right, so here we go.
Not picking the winner, yeah. Okay.
Well, fellas, guess who really run it? A gentleman by the name of JJ Spahn. Didn't see that one coming on Father's Day. He won that in front of his daughters. Gives you a sports movie feel. Fellas, what in the hell happened to where JJ Spahn won the U.S. Open?
I mean, the back nine that he had. I mean, he tried to give away the tournament in the front nine because he went 5 over in the front nine, man. But I think overall, round 4, I think there was only 3 players that shot under par out of the entire field.
Yeah, they were all hot. They were like John Rahm.
John Rahm was John
Rory
Rahm.
And,
yep.
Yeah. And McIntyre, I think.
I believe so. Yep. But Spawn went 5 over in the front 9, but his back 9 was phenomenal and literally gave us a shot that will live in infamy. You will see this highlight when it comes to the U.S. Open for years and years to come. That putt on 18, just he didn't even need it, but the way to go out with that putt was incredible. I didn't get to see it in real time when Scotty D mentioned, then I got to see it later on. I was like, wow. I'm like, and just the relationship, the crowd eruption, it is phenomenal. I love it when it comes to golf, especially the majors. And it just gives you goosebumps to have a moment like that. That putt reminded me of when Tiger Woods had that putt to freaking take the Masters that one year, and like with the fist bump and everything, it's on that level. And so JJ Spawn, congratulations, sir. And whew, that golf course is tough. He was the only one that shot under par for the entire tournament.
Yep. Yeah. Only player under par. Yep. But, yeah, he got a 64-foot birdie on 18 to seal the win. Clutch. And he overcame bogey 5.
How long was it? How long was that putt?
64 feet.
64.
Yep. 64 feet.
JJ Spawn will be a guy who, in about 10 years, people say, what was the name of that dude with the beard that hit the long putt to win the U.S. Open? He's a journeyman. He's 34 years old. The only reason I even knew him is because he was in that Players Championship against Rory a couple months ago. I watched that, and Rory ended up winning that tournament. He's going to go down in history with the Michael Campbell. Remember Michael Campbell? No, because nobody does. He won the U.S. Open like in 2012, and nobody really remembers him. Or Rich Beem, who won the PGA Championship, or Ben Curtis, who won the British Open. I mean, it was a nice finish. It was a nice story. He hit the shot of his life on 17, a drive that set him up for an eagle putt. Outstanding. And I don't think this guy's a scrub, just to be clear, but he is a journeyman. I mean, it took him a while to get to this point. He's not like a young up-and-comer. He's been around for a little while. He has, I think this was his second win, if I'm not mistaken, as a pro. I think he had one on the PGA Tour. This technically not a PGA win because it was USGA. But I was actually really, really happy for him. I wanted him to get close and finish this thing up for two reasons. One, because he did play well. He had that bad little stretch on the front 9 on Sunday. He actually hit a great shot on number 2, and it hit the flag and kicked him back down the hill. So he was actually lucky. Instead of putting for birdie from close range, he had to scramble to make a bogey, and he did that. He was mentally tough. He came back after the rain delay and finished well. And I was happy for him. That was one reason I wanted him to make it. And the other reason was because I was done with the U.S. Open. I didn't want to watch a playoff. I didn't want to see any more golf from Oakmont in the rain. This tournament was terrible, dude. This was awful.
Scotty, you were live on location. Tell us about that real quick.
I will. Let me get to that in a minute. But
okay.
Because I'm on a roll here right now. But this was a bad watch on Sunday as far as major tournaments go. We've had 3 major tournaments this year. This was the third best. You had the Masters with the Rory story and the charge on Sunday. You had the PGA Championship with Scheffler kind of fighting off the other guys, and the DeChambeau coming up short. And then you had this. JJ Spawn wins the tournament. I mean, okay. I mean, like I said, nice story. If he didn't make that putt, this would not have a memorable ending. This would be just another guy. If he 2 putts, nice story, this guy wins. But he makes this bomb 64-foot putt on 18, and everybody goes crazy. And around here, it'll be remembered because it's in the Pittsburgh area. But, man, come on with this golf course. It's setting up goofy golf. Is that, 154 of the best players in the world? One was under par, and that's because he had a fluke birdie on the final hole. Come on, USGA. Come on. You set the course up too hard. That rough, and I was there. I looked at this rough with my own eyes. It's ridiculous. On Sunday, the 2 leaders, Burns and Adam Scott, Sam Burns and Adam Scott, they go out and they played like me I don't want to watch me play golf. I don't want to watch me chunk the ball around and go double bogey, double bogey, double bogey. It was terrible. It wasn't. And you listen to the announcers, and every time they go, if somebody hit a shot, they go, this isn't like they're flag hunting and making birdies and moving up the board and a bogey, that might hurt, that might come out. No, this was terrible. And then it rained. And then Sam Burns hits the fairway and he's standing in a puddle and they don't let him take a drop. Come on, man. That was ridiculous. The guy's leading the tournament, and you make him hit from a puddle, and it killed the deal for him. He double bogeyed that hole. It was just too much. It's goofy golf, man. I'm all for making the courses tough, but this was ridiculous, man. It was too much.
Be live for future. You got to have a graphic, get ready for a Money Man rant because we just got one. We just got one, baby. We got one.
I didn't mean to go on one. It just
poured out of me. I knew it was coming though because Scotty, I have to go back and look at it because I was looking for a clip of the one where it said standing water or like unnatural water.
Yeah, he's on unnatural water. Yeah,
There was another. Well, could have been the same one because I didn't see the water on this one, but where he hit the green, but the slope was so bad that it rolled completely off the green, rolled all the way around and over the river and through the woods to ground. Like I was like, wow.
There was a lot of that.
I was like, wow, who would design a green like that it's sloped like this? Can you see? You see, like it was sloped.
There was a lot of slope, and they mowed them so that it was playing fast, and it has to do with the pin placements too. They put them in tough places. It was set up to be difficult, and again, I don't hate that because the U.S. Open is supposed to be hard, but when it's so hard that the players are going out there and looking foolish, it's tough. I'll give you an example, and this will lead me into Eddie's question about me going. But I spent some time on the second hole. So on the first day, I don't remember the golfer's name. He was a guy who was not ranked and was a guy who qualified. He hits his first shot into the fairway. The second shot is up the hill, rolls past the hole and into that rough. Well, nobody knows how to play out of this rough. If you hit it hard, you might send it over the green. If you hit it short, you're going to be playing another shot in there. And it's not something you really can practice for. These guys practice all their lives for every situation, but this rough was so incredibly thick. And so this guy's next shot, I turned my head, look up. He'd already hit it up on the green. And from where I was standing down below, I looked up, and there his ball is down the hill. He had hit out of the rough and sent it back down the hill and had to then go play it back up. And I saw that kind of thing happen to quite a few players in this tournament. It's actually magnificent to see this Oakmont Country Club. I've been to other big venues, and the PGA Championship and the Players. I've been to a few golf courses, not a lot, but a few. But this is the only one that I have seen where you can it's so elevated. The elevation has changed so much. You can actually see almost all of the golf course. Like when I walked in, there's a head overview. You could see almost every hole, and there's no trees out there, so you get a clear look at what this golf course looks like from a high, distant view. And it's the greens were beautifully done. I mean, I know that I was making fun for being fast, which is fine, and the fairways were beautiful, and definitely the rough you could see it was set up to be difficult for the players. Magnificent venue. I just think they went a little bit overboard with it. That's my personal opinion. And my dad and I went in. It was a little, because of the hilliness, it was a little tough on my dad. So we didn't get to stay as long as I ordinarily would. I didn't go run around the course and chase a lot of golfers around. We kind of camped out and let them come through. So we watched Brooks Koepka make a great shot on the first day, and Scotty Scheffler made a great save on that second hole, and Jason Day was up to his knees in the weeds on that hole. I mean, we got to see some really cool stuff, and it was a fun memory for me to be able to go do that with my dad on Father's Day weekend. And despite the fact that I was only there for a short amount of time, I'm sure a lot of people would have loved the opportunity to go to a golf tournament with their dad on Father's Day weekend. So no complaints. It was a nice time. Wish I'd have had a little bit more, but I will say this. On our exit note here, one more positive thing about this tournament. Live Golf did not win again.
Yeah, They didn't win again. And
Tyrrell Hatton threatened, but no live winner.
Yep. With that being said, with this win, Spawn is now a Ryder Cup lock. He is in there. Yep, he's inside the top 10. And then fellas, what's next? The Open Championship next month. We'll talk about that next month as well, too. Got a whole lot to be excited about. We got a Stanley Cup final. Is it safe to say the Panthers gonna go ahead and clinch tonight? Is it safe to say?
I don't know, man. It's in Florida, but Edmonton's resilient, man.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's going to be a lot of hard fighting. Hard fighting. It's not going to. I promise it won't be easy for Florida.
Yeah.
But man, there's no telling. Florida could win 6-1, or Edmonton can win 4-3. I don't know. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I've been watching a good portion of it, and it's just it looks like Florida's the better team.
Mm-hmm.
But it does appear that way.
Edmonton seems like they're fighting for more than just themselves, and so like they got the whole country on their back. Florida's just like we're just better than you. And
what a good story though this Brad Marchand is. Did you see the goal he had in game 4? 3 was the overtime game that Edmonton won, correct? That was when they came back from a 3-0 deficit and ended up going into overtime and winning that game 5-4, I believe. In the following game, Florida was up 2-0, and the third goal that Marchand scored, where he went down the left side, went between two guys, dragged the puck between them, kept possession, and then beat the goal, buried it. Kudos to that dude for playing well. He was last year. He was with the Bruins and got in a fight with the Panthers and actually took a sucker punch from his now teammate Sam Bennett. But then the Bruins traded him this year in March. It's one of those trade deadline pickups that is really paying off because if you want to repeat, you can't stay stagnant. You got to do something to shake it up in any sport.
Game 4 was the overtime where Edmonton came back 3-0. That was game 4.
Okay, well, it was the following game, the 5-2 win, and it was the third goal in that game. It was out of sight. So yeah, they're stacked. Florida looks good. I wish they would start that game at like 6 o'clock so I could stay up and watch it.
You won't go to bed, Scotty.
I'm going to bed early these days, man. I used to hate when people would miss sporting events because they go to bed early. I'd make fun of those people. No, I'm one of them.
You are those people.
Now
waking up at 5:30 and oh man.
You are those people. All right, with that being said, that does it for the top of the order, man. We covered Stanley Cup, NBA Finals. We even talked a little golf. All right, talked a little golf and kind of talked about hockey on the impromptu. And with that being said, looking at my cell phone, which I have yet to get a watch. Guess what time it is?
What time is it? What's happening? What's going on?
Man, I'm glad you asked. This time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, old button, hit it. Choice of the voices on the other side of the break, coming at you right here. Stick stay. Don't you dare go away. This is Sports Bros Podcast.
Florida fan base don't deserve a Stanley Cup either.
So Florida don't deserve a cup. OKC don't deserve a cup. No. Anybody else you want to? Anybody else got it? Don't deserve anything?
Philadelphia didn't deserve the Super Bowl.
Oh, Lord. Now, Scotty D, we had a good relationship with Danny Short. Don't ruin this for us, Scotty D. Don't ruin this for us. Hey, we'll be back, y'all, right after this.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and
ever so lovely Miss Button
for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices, where we ask y'all the question and you give us the answer, and we read it right here on the choices of the voices. This might be relatively short, but Scotty D, what we got on Tickety Tap?
Well, this was a really good question, and y'all blew it this week by not giving us more answers to this. Because this was a good. At least I thought so. And what was that question? It was, what current athlete, professional athlete from any sport, can you see down the road being the future head coach, manager, coach in a professional manner down the road? And I was going to get on Trey Duke for giving me a bad answer, but he gave us the only answer, so we're going to go with it. And I will say this: if somebody, sometimes we get late answers. If somebody answers this week, we'll talk about it next week too. I know we're not going to get a big flurry, but we'll tack it on as the next one, because I was interested to hear what other people thought about this. And Eddie Cool, what did the person have to say?
All right, well, Trey Dizzle said Tony Romo and Peyton Manning should absolutely be coaching. Imagine those two field generals coaching the same team. Not gonna happen. I mean, it wouldn't help Dak Prescott since his parents. You see,
here we go. Foolishness.
Oh boy. Speaking of Father's Day, I wish that.
Oh man, he was Dak Prescott's dad, never became a father. Wow.
Yeah, so we gonna thank you for your participation this week's choices of the voices, Trey Dizzle. This foolishness.
The Cowboys would have more room under the salary cap if I.
I did not edit it out. Yeah, we going with it.
Yeah.
And now, but I want to make this disclaimer because this is very important. Trey Dizzle, Trey Duke. If we had more answers to this, we would put you into the penalty box because Sky D asked for current NFL player, current players of any sport, and playing for CBS Network and ESPN. Those are not current athletes, but we see where you were sort of at, and the fact that you're the only person that answered, we're going to give you a pass because even during a hockey match, you can't send everybody to the penalty box.
No.
So we have to have somebody on, on the ice. Even when the goalie commits a penalty, the goalie gets to stay on, but somebody else gets sent to the penalty box. But since there's nobody else,
let me dispute his answer. Let me tell you why I don't think his answers are good.
Why?
Aside from the fact that they're not current players. Well, Peyton Manning did things that nobody else really was able to do. The way he was able to process and read. And actually, for a while, Romo modeled himself after Manning. They said he was going to try to be like Peyton Manning, be in the film room more. But usually when you're like the best in the league, you're not a very good head coach because you can't kind of deal with the fact that other people aren't able to achieve the greatness that you achieve. I mean, Magic Johnson was the head coach of the Lakers that lasted like 3 weeks. He couldn't take it because nobody had his drive or his talent and to be able to put all that together. I mean, could you imagine had Michael Jordan become like the head coach? I mean, he would just want to stop practice and play one-on-one to show you how it's done. And you know,
well, he didn't do that well as an executive.
He didn't. No,
so
that's true too.
He was not very good at evaluating talent and putting together a winning roster. It just so. I guess what the best way to put it, those that don't teach or something like that. So it's not the best players, the best performers. Sometimes it's just the best minds, and that's sort of
yeah, that's true. But I mean, how many Hall of Fame quarterbacks from the NFL do you know of that were NFL head coaches? I mean, it's a very short list. Bart Starr, and he was not a very good coach in the 80s with Green Bay. And since then, I mean, Elway was an executive, and some of these guys do go on to do TV or in one form or other, be it studio analyst or what have you. But you don't see a lot of these guys go into coaching, like the stars. Plus, a lot of them, they are so wealthy they don't want to go back and do that. Most of the guys that retire from the league that are in coaching roles made money. It's not like they're poor people that jump into these roles. But when you're like treated as the man your whole life and given all the money and you're the best, and everybody tells you you're the best, it's hard to be a coach. And I think for the absolute most elite athlete, that's just my opinion.
And no, that's a very valid, very good, very valid, very good opinion, because there's stats to go behind that, and at the end of the day, that's really the impetus of the argument. And I'm curious to see what you guys' answers were when it came to this question. I mean, if you guys don't mind, since I have the floor, can I go ahead and just jump in?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Because see, here's one thing: he's not current, but that would have been my answer if it had been 2 years ago. I might have thought somebody like Matt Fitzpatrick would be an excellent coach.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan, yeah, one of them dudes. Yeah. Ryan, yeah, because it just his intellect, I think, would somehow would transpire. He wasn't the most talented person, but he was definitely one of the smartest people in the room.
Yeah.
When it came to the sport, and when it just came to just now, sometimes that may not translate into being being able to coach, being able to teach. But I just think of, when it comes to coaching, I think of intelligence.
Yeah, but look at the pattern that you're following. Though. Look at some of the guys that are head coaches have been head coaches. Peterson, who won the Super Bowl with the Eagles, Frank Reich, Kellen Moore, backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, and so that I think, because at the end of the day, they spend a lot of time with the clipboard.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Jason Garrett.
I'm surprised, Lord Jesus. I'm surprised nobody ain't picked up the phone and called clipboard
Kellen Moore.
And called clipboard Jesus. What's your boy name? Be live, Charlie Whitehurst, clipboard Jesus.
Hey, so I mean, it's one of those things that sort of translate. But now, going into the spirit of the question, I picked one from each sport. I'm summarize real quick. I'm not gonna take too long because I have a little bit of time due to the fact that the lack of the answers.
Yep.
If I was going to pick somebody from the NFL that's current, I would go with Joe Flacco.
He crossed my mind too.
Joe Flacco. I feel like just his experience. He's played under multiple schemes. I think he would be able to take what he's learned, and also I think he's an intelligent person, coachable. Coachable people also are able to coach. He's under a lot of different head coaches. So I put him up there. If I was to pick somebody from the NBA, maybe I'm an intelligence type person. So I would pick, this is going to be off the wall, Jaylen Brown. The dude's a genius.
Yeah.
I don't know if he pursue football after his football. I mean, basketball after his basketball career is over. He'd probably go somewhere and be a rocket scientist or something like that, because I think he actually is. He's going to go cure cancer and save the world and get a Nobel Peace Prize.
He is. He might be too intelligent for the game of basketball. Yeah, I think. I mean, he crossed my mind too at one point, and I thought he's like maybe too intense. He's intensely intelligent.
But my if I only had one answer though, it would be in baseball, and it would be Freddie Freeman. I feel like he is just a guy's guy. Like I feel like players would rally around him. He knows the sport. I think he is definitely that dude that would players would go to bat for him every single time, literally and figuratively. And then I'm just throwing out there because I picked somebody from the AHL. Sidney Crosby. Let's give him a crack at it, see what he does.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been that dude. Unfortunately, he's had to live under the shadow of Ovechkin, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer without question. And I think his style would translate into being a good coach. But I just threw that out there just because, again, hey, we need participants. We can't
Yeah.
have choice of the voices with only one voice, and that voice being Trey Dizzle and his ridiculous self. Oh, all right. Facebook algorithm, do something. I feel like people aren't even seeing my question at times, but
yeah,
that's here and there. I'm gonna figure it out. Yes,
Scotty D, did you name your selection?
I did not.
Okay.
To just to pick up on where B-Live left off, I think Sidney Crosby might be an executive type more than a coach. I could see him following like Mario Lemieux's footsteps. That's what Lemieux did, kind of as an office guy. But being that you're talking NHL, I think his teammate Chris Letang, who's a defenseman and almost as a coach on the ice, would be actually a pretty good coach. So I went with baseball. I like DJ LeMahieu that plays for the Yankees. I think he's got an intelligent baseball mind, it would be able to instruct with hitting. And there was a catcher that played for the Pirates named Jacob Stalling a few years ago, and he's bounced around to a few other teams. Catchers a lot of times make good coaches because they're always in the action. Their mindset is such where they win with strategy more than talent a lot of times. I mean, obviously they're talent, but a lot of times catchers aren't as good at hitters because they're in there because they're such great defensive players and are able to call pitches and that type of thing. And his dad was actually a coach at Pitt. He was terrible basketball wise, but it would be in the family to be a coach. So I was thinking along that. Guy you mentioned earlier, B-Live, TJ McConnell, has come from a family of his entire family is basketball coaches. I think he actually would be a classic fit for that. And I like Fred Van Vliet, Jamal Murray, guys who are point guards but not the best player. I could see those guys. And in the NFL, I went with kind of the theme we were talking about, backup quarterbacks. I think Andy Dalton would be a good head coach.
Yeah, he was somebody I was thinking about as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Tyrod Taylor, who's been in a lot of different systems. I think he's stayed in the league so long because he is intelligent and knows football. I think he could be a good head coach. Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
Smart enough to stay in the league without a whole lot of talent. So there's just a handful. Eddie Cool, who you got?
Fellas, I got quite a few because I actually did some research and I got some to kind of fill some time real quick, but let's call a few of them.
See, this is a good question. He has missed out on this.
Right. And I got all this, and I got research, and I got all this stuff I had to prepare for. All right, so in the NBA of future coaches, this is kind of a no-brainer almost. CP3, Chris Paul.
Yeah, he would be good.
Yeah, reason being because, during his 20-year career, he was already a coach on the damn floor to begin with. He's known for calling plays and mentoring young guards, and he has a high basketball IQ.
You know what? And not my bad. I'll give you that one because he was great when he was on, like you were on his team.
Yeah.
But if you weren't on his team, people hated Chris.
You forget about it, yeah.
Oh man, they couldn't stand him if you weren't on it. That was the first thing that popped in my head when you said Steve. I was like, ooh. Yeah, but no, when he was on your team, you wanted to be on his team. No, I give you that. Yes, sir.
All right. You'll love this one, guys. Udonis Haslem. He just retired and he's already an assistant in Miami.
Because he's old.
Yeah. And
that's a good call though.
Yeah.
Udonis Haslem, he's already an assistant in Miami. He's been around 20 years, and so I think he would. Fellas, I don't know if you heard Steven Jackson go off this past weekend during the Big Three, but I don't want to say Udonis Haslem would be fit for the Big Three, but I think the NBA could use some good old Udonis Haslem. All right,
I think that's a good call. I like that one.
All right, so moving along as I'm looking at my list. Okay, you guys mentioned Sidney Crosby, studious, reserved, and universally respected, and could be a franchise-defining coach one day. All right, Scotty D, this one kind of caught me off guard here. Anze Kopitar of the Kings. He's a veteran center with a calm, methodical approach and a great hockey sense. All right. Oh, you guys ready for some wild card picks here?
Lay it on me.
Boy.
The first one is LeBron James, but no, I don't think so. Draymond Green. It's a wild card. Draymond Green, because he's polarizing.
He knows basketball, though. He does know basketball.
That's the thing. Polarizing, but his on court communication and analysis screen coaching or media. He's already in one field, but now he's in the other field.
Who's that one guy that played? He was Fab Five. That ended up being the coach of Michigan.
Juwan
Howard.
Yeah.
I feel like that's Draymond Green, because Juwan Howard also got a lot of technicals as a coach. So that's all like,
oh man, if you're an NBA referee, how bad would you hate it to see Draymond come? He finally retires, get him out of your hair, and here he comes again with a suit and tie. Oh my gosh.
That'd be a nightmare. He knows the sport. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
There's no doubt. Oh my God! But I can just imagine how many technical fouls he would get as a coach. Yep. Bench warning.
I think he ends up as media, though.
Yeah. He's sort of fallen into that role of podcaster.
Yeah, I think he ends up media.
Yep. All right, fellas, I got two more for you here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Going into the NFL, a future coach. He just retired, but he fits the mold. Matthew Slater, special teams legend, with a team first mindset and a Bill Belichick education, which means when you're in the Bill Belichick system, you learn something. But then again, everyone's not equipped to that.
I'm gonna put a pause on that. Name me one coach.
I knew this was coming.
In the Bill Belichick coaching tree that has actually been successful.
Mike Vrabel.
Try again. That has actually been successful.
That's it.
Mike Vrabel hasn't been. He's been close.
Yeah, he's been
close. There hasn't been one. People keep thinking that you're coming out of the Bill Belichick coaching tree that automatically makes you a good coach. It has not happened yet at all. There's been a bunch of coaches that have come out of that, and oh boy.
Yeah, just don't be wearing sun visors in a stadium like Josh McDaniels. He dresses like a 12-year-old. Anyways.
I'm genuinely curious to see how Bill Belichick coaches this year at UNC.
So, 6-5. We talking about?
I mean, he's big. I mean, he's gotten some recruits. I don't know. That little silly ass girlfriend of his. Just in the way.
Getting in the way. All right, so Scotty D, you'll love this one, and I actually agree with this one too. Even though he's retired and he's no longer playing, one of my favorite catchers, of course, Yadier Molina.
Yeah. I think he might be a good coach. I was actually thinking about him too. I didn't pick him because he did retire, but yeah, he would. No. I could see that happening.
All right, you know what? I'm going to put a pause on this, because see, here's the thing. We discussed this at the beginning of this segment.
You said current players be live. I'm just trying to fill time, brother. I'm just trying to fill time. That's all.
That's about the fourth player you didn't name that is no longer playing. We let Trey Duke get a pass, bro.
I'm picking Sean Lee now.
Like, I'm over here. I'm over here, man.
Where's Dan Morgan? Nah.
I'm about to pull out the graphic on you, player. About to put you in there.
All good, man. All good. But yeah, Yadier Molina, he's already coaching in Puerto Rico.
That's a cheat. Then he's already coaching. You cheated with that answer.
He's coaching in Puerto Rico, not in the major. So, boom, there it is, right there. All right, Scotty D, what's on tap for next week's choices of the voices?
Well, this wasn't going to be my question, but this episode carried me towards this. What fan base in any professional sport do you feel like did not deserve a championship?
Oh boy, here we go.
Be as creative, happy, angry, whatever it is you want on this one. For whatever reason, what fan base do you think was undeserving of their championship? That'll give us something to talk about. At least us. We'll be talking about that next week.
Y'all better bring it this week. Y'all better bring it next week. Y'all better bring it.
The 1990s Dallas Cowboys.
No, they completely deserve it.
They deserve to be live. I mean,
okay. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and answer this real quick. The 1990s fans deserve it. The 2000s, 2010, and 2020s fans absolutely do not deserve to live off the 90s. Stop it.
We haven't gotten it, so that answer's moot.
I'm just putting it out there because y'all love him. When he got 5.
We'll probably be 17-0 this year with Dak coming back.
Oh Lord, be live, grab the pepper grinder.
Pickens, get George Pickens.
One half of the Crash Out Bros. Coming up next, we got a round of pepper. Hey man, stick stay right here, your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros podcast.
The Florida Panthers.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
All right, well, y'all heard it. It's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell up out of here. But first, a round of pepper. You know how we do it, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really, here to engage, enlighten, educate, and entertain. I thought about adding a fifth E, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, all right? With that being said, I'll go first, all right? Scotty D, guess what? On this day in history, back in 1943, player manager Joe Cronin of the Red Sox hits 2 3-run pinch home runs. So he was being an active manager and being an active player and pretty effective. Over to you, Scotty D.
And he put himself in as a pinch hitter and hit a home run, huh?
Ain't that something?
Wow. I guess he knew his personnel pretty well then, huh?
He's like, hey, get up out of there. Why? But because, hey, you're chasing after the wrong stuff. I got this.
So recently, Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Bradshaw was passing through the Springfield Branson National Airport, Missouri, and he was selected for extra screening. This is Terry Bradshaw, mind you. They pulled him aside. They gave him unpacked his luggage, gave him a good feeling up, a good patting down, and took him into an extra room. I guess he was pretty good natured about it, but whoever was traveling with him said that they really were really giving it to him as far as like the check. Bradshaw joked, yeah, it must be the Unabomber, or what is going on here with all this? And it finally occurred to me what was going on with this. Was the reason he got searched so much. TSA heard that former Steeler was wanted for attempted murder, and he was out of the country, and they got Bradshaw confused with Antonio Brown. So that's what happened at the airport to Terry Bradshaw. I understand it now. Be live, over to you.
A simple Google search can stop a lot of miscommunication. Go ahead, Be
live. It's easy to get the two confused.
Go ahead, Be live. Just go ahead, because I'm about to go off. Go ahead, because I'm about to go off.
And Angel Reese trademarking me bounds was going to be it, because now she makes money off of her own blunders, but that's a whole nother situation. She might be able to afford her $8,000 a month rent if she couldn't afford earlier on her WNBA contract. But, well, we're going to move on from that because I come with backups.
Okay.
We've been hearing about all the hype and all the stuff between Noah Lyles and Tyreek Hill of who's the fastest man alive. And we all know it's Noah Lyles because, I mean, running 100 is more than running a 50 and et cetera, blah, blah, blah. Well, unfortunately, Noah Lyles has canceled the race, the showdown, due to personal reasons.
Oh, here we go.
Like, Noah Lyles, like, bro, like, you've been very vocal about how you ain't got your own shoe, that you do this more than NBA. Like he's like, I don't have my own shoe. Anthony Edwards has his own shoe, and he also won a champion. Just like, yo, my dude, quit crying. And this is your opportunity to put your money where your mouth is. And now you cancel this race due to personal reasons. Bruh, no Lyles. At this point in time, I'm gonna need you to shut the hell up. Yeah. I would love to use another phrase, but we try our best to keep this a clean show. STFU. John Cena, you can't see me. Eddie Cool. The ball.
Here it is, a chance, opportunity to get a chance to do something. I gotta do this personal. Let's just hope these personal reasons are valid, not just because I don't want to, because that doesn't. No. All right, on this day in history, back in 2003, 21 Years ago, Moneyball, a book about the 2003 Oakland Athletics baseball team and GM Billy Beane's sabermetric approach inspired by Bill James, is published. Have you guys saw the movie? I never read the book, but I've seen the movie.
Yeah, same.
Well, pretty good movie. And
Seen
now,
it several times. I like that movie.
Yep, pretty good movie. And now the Athletics are just the Athletics. My, how things have changed in the course of 21 years.
The Vegas Athletic. Is Billy Beane still with them? I think he is.
Ugh. That's okay. He's got to figure something out. They have got to figure something out.
We'll get Stat Boy to look that up for him. He needs a job at this point.
Over to you, Scotty D.
All right, nothing earth-shattering on this pepper point. Just wanted to give a shout out to Arkansas pitcher Gage Wood, who threw a college baseball no-hitter, the third ever, first one in 65 years, struck out 19 players from Murray State to advance for Arkansas. College World Series going on right now, but no-hitter in college, that's historic. That's big stuff.
That's what I'll say. That is actually earth-shattering. 19 strikeouts, and guess what? He was one hit by pitch away from a perfect game.
Yeah.
Hit by pitch.
Yeah.
I was like, yo. Yeah. That's such an incredible performance. And yeah, when you said, I was like, oh yeah, I was thinking about that one, but I'm glad you put that out there.
Wish I would have seen it myself, but
oh man. Oh, I saw highlights of it. He was masterful. Yeah. Masterful. They still got a loss already, so they're still fighting for their lives. While CCU is on a 25-game win streak and has already clinched to be in the semifinals.
Let's go.
Coastal Carolina.
The teal is for real.
And shout out to CCU because they're now representing Conway more than they're representing Myrtle Beach. All the stuff says Conway now. I guess they said Myrtle Beach be doing too much. We represent, so they represent Conway, putting Conway on the map. Let's go.
Going back to Conway.
Conway. 501 to 540. Nah, my bad.
I don't think so.
So no.
UCLA, Upper Conway, Lower Hater.
So what's what's going to be down, a Conway Bowl or something?
I don't. That's a good question. Yeah, but I think that's because the city of Myrtle Beach still sponsors that bowl.
Okay.
Like Myrtle Beach, whatnot. But my second pepper point, fellas, for us being podcasters, being sports personalities and whatnot, so to speak, not really, but want to be there maybe somehow one day. If we ever get invited to go to one of these major championships, one of these big time events, let's focus on the actual event and let's not multitask and play solitaire on our phones during the year. Stephen A. Smith, my boy. Come on, man. Like, honestly, I get it.
What happened was
the games on our phones, yes, it is a release from things, but dude, like, I know you're getting tweets and text messages and stuff that while you're at the game, like, answer some of them. Like, but I guess he said, nope, I want to play some solitaire right here, right now, knowing that the cameras are all over the place, and he gets caught playing solitaire at the NBA Finals. Stephen A. Smith, do better. Eddie Cool, the ball.
Well, I'm pretty sure he would have rather been at this finals. He was probably thinking about the last year because on this day in history back in 2004, 365 days ago, the Celtics beat the Mavericks 106 to 88 and 5 to clinch the club's record 18th championship. And the MVP, the gentleman we talked about earlier, who could be a coach, who's so smart, forward, Jaylen Brown. Scotty D.
Yeah.
Over to you.
All right, one last hockey point. The Pittsburgh Penguins have decided that next year will be the final year for Evgeny Malkin. They will not be extending his contract past next year. Malkin is 38 years old, has won 3 Stanley Cups. And in Pittsburgh, he was as much of a stud. He was kind of the Yager to Lemieux for Sidney Crosby, like the Pippen to Jordan for Sidney Crosby. He was always kind of the second in command, but yet he has had an outstanding career. He was drafted number 2 in 2004. Care to guess who was number 1?
2004.
Alexander Ovechkin.
Ovechkin. Yeah.
Of course.
And these two men might both be looking at next year as their final seasons. These outstanding Russians both had great careers. So be interesting to see. But I'm hoping Malkin has one last banger of a season left in him. I hope he doesn't have like an injury plague. I know he's going to spend time in the penalty box. That just his career.
That's him. That's what he does.
He's going to do that.
It sure be great to see him have one more season, as the Penguins seem now destined to shift into a full-blown rebuild. They are going to be terrible next year. And that's all I have to say about that. Be Live, take us home.
It's going to be terrible.
Let me rear back. Let me get readjusted in the seat real quick for my third and final pepper.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following pepper point is rated F for foolishness.
So, speaking of penalty boxes, so to speak, when it comes to talents to other sources, more or less, going either overseas or going out of the country to continue to play the sport that they love. But one thing that you can't do to keep that career going in any country really is to get into an altercation with fans.
Can't do that.
Can't really do that. And you really can't, after a fan has been jawing and talking trash to you, you can't really rub on your private area and then shove your hand into the face of a fan, a la DeMarcus Cousins.
Come on, Boogie. Come on.
Fan on the sideline has been jawing all game and everything, and DeMarcus Cousins has had it, takes his hand, rubs it in his area, and pretty much proceeds to smush this guy in the face with the smelly hand. And the thing about it is that this area has been playing a physical sport so you got sweat and
okay,
juice.
we get that. We won't need the description. We get that. We know about that.
I'm gonna let him go.
No.
He proceeds to get ejected from the game. While getting ejected from the game, the fans are irate because of him interacting with another fan. They're throwing drinks at him. And then he proceeds to try to go back and tries to fight fans. And he gets pelted in the head with drinks and all kinds of things. Well, the Baloncesto Superior Nacional season, or whatever they call themselves, whatever.
Yeah, them.
He's been suspended for the rest of the year. The team that he plays with, the Mets de Guaynabo, they terminate his contract. They fine him $4,250, and basically he is off the team, out of the league, and got smelly fingers. Boogie Cousins. I guess you could join us in podcasting, because I think your basketball career just might be over.
Yeah.
And we would welcome you here on the SportsBros podcast because we record remotely. So we wouldn't have to worry about these types of altercations.
You can take 2 of Be-Live's pepper points per week.
Wow.
It's a negotiation.
That's not how any of this works.
It's because you're the best pepper point giver. You know, it's a special role. It's a special role.
That's why you save the best for last.
Yeah, I mean, you're the guy who almost picked the winner of the U.S. Open. I mean, you're that guy. You're that special. Speaking of picking, do you guys do we think Kevin Durant's going to the Spurs? Is this really where he's going to end up? I think it is.
It sounds like the Suns don't want to give in to any of his requests.
Nope.
So it's like this could be yet another go around with Durant versus whatever team he's on.
Yeah.
Not wanting to give him what he wants, and then a month later he's going to get what he wants.
Well, NBA draft is next Thursday, I think. I think he's a Spur by then. That's just my.
I mean, or he could be the Orlando Magic and give up 4 first-round draft picks.
What are they doing?
Bane
smoking dope.
What
I'm like for Desmond Bane.
What?
I heard it explained they want to win now. This is the closest. Those and they said F them picks. They're going to be higher picks. They're not gonna help them. So
yeah,
this could end. I mean, if this move works, we'll be second guessing. We'll be backtracking next year. But Orlando better win at least a first round playoff game next year if they're giving up that kind of haul.
Orlando's close, but not close enough. Anyway, that being said, that does for a round of pepper.
It's like giving up Rafael Devers. I mean,
the Sports Bros pop. Wow! Oh my God!
Hey, you better fall in line. You get that big contract. You do what we tell you to do.
Yeah,
gotta be aligned. Gotta be aligned.
yeah. If you're loving the show, do us a quick favor, man. Hit that follow button, give us a like, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Whether you're tuning on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, your support helps. And follow us all over social media. Just click that link in the description box or the chat box. And then closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They're greatly appreciated now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. Be like me, you both need to shave. I understand that. This has been another episode of your favorite podcast, none other than the Sports Bros podcast. That is great. That's great. Be Live, you know the women love that, right? Take us home, Be Live.
Yes, sir.
Somebody straight up told me, they said, Eddie, don't shave the gray. Don't shave the gray. That's why I got this, because I gotta have that je ne sais quoi. All right, with that being said, hey, we out of here. Thanks for watching us. We enjoy it. Peace. See you next week.